I tell y'all, it's super loud. It's super, super loud. What up, Track Cat family? Welcome back to another blessed and positive video. Now, I know it looks like we're back in the underground garage type of vibe, and we are. And we're back for the part 2 with my boy Don. Say what up to my boy Don.
What up?
Now, we're going to be jumping into the exhaust. I want to do a part 2 for the exhaust because me and my boy Don both have very different exhaust systems on our Camaros. And we're going to be breaking down the different exhaust setups that we have on both of our cars in this video. I wanted to make it a part 2 because it's going to be long. We both have a lot done. Before we go ahead and show y'all the exhaust systems that we have, we're going to get into the drivability and the differences that we notice between the stock and the exhaust systems that we have currently. First, I want to start off with my boy Don because he does have the most done. What are some of the differences that you notice between the stock and then the setup you have now? Well, before you tell them what you have done.
Obviously, the way it sounds, it's a huge difference. And also, just because I do have the headers on, it does, when I do turn, it does kind of scrape a little on the headers, but other than that, it drives amazingly. And definitely feel the power difference compared to the stock one. But the big difference is how loud it is.
I've definitely noticed the overall loudness, but one thing I have noticed is how light the exhaust system feels. Without telling y'all too much, because that's something that we're going to get into in a second, I definitely feel how light the exhaust system feels. It just feels super light. The drivability is good. Drivability is good just because of how light it feels. It makes the car feel lighter, makes it feel more nimble than what it was. It's dope. One thing I have noticed is the pops. The D-cell pops and just pops while I'm rolling and just not really expecting them are a lot more pronounced. Have you noticed any of that?
Yeah, definitely a lot more pronounced and really deep. Sounds a lot deeper than stock.
Yeah, super, super deep. Like, it'll add like a richness. It's a little bit more raspy how it is stock, but it add more of a deeper tone to it, which I was looking for. I was like, dang, how's the ZL1 so raspy? And that's how these cars are naturally. That's how they make the exhaust systems. But once you get an exhaust, an aftermarket exhaust, it'll make it a little bit deeper. Now we're finna get into what we got done. I want to start off with my boy first because he has the most done. Let us know what you got done.
All right, so what I got done is the 2-inch headers, long tube headers, all the way back with a 3-inch pipe to the Corsa variables.
Can we see the headers?
Yeah, got you right now.
Okay. Let's see these headers real quick. What headers do you have?
I got the Speed Engineering headers.
Okay.
As you can see, they're not stock. Doesn't have the shield on it. That's basically it for now. We're gonna do more later, but for now it's just the long tube headers, 3-inch pipes, upgraded edge pipe with the Corsa variables. I do have chrome tips on the 5-inch chrome tips that come with the Corsas on it.
Yeah, on the Corsas, which is super dope. And my boy has a Corsa variables. I have the Corsa Extreme Pluses. I'm just giving away. Y'all haven't even seen them yet, but y'all should know. Y'all already know I have the Corsa Extreme Pluses because we did the install video. But my boy has a Corsa variables, and the Corsa variables are different. How are they different? You have the valves and everything, huh?
Yes, I do have the valves. It is a little, I believe, quieter than yours, but I just like the valves because I do have the headers, so it is pretty loud. So when I'm by a cop or something, just close the valves and call it a day.
Yeah, almost like the stock MPP.
Exactly.
Which is dope because the Extreme Pluses are a little bit different. I have a muffler, but it's just for show. They don't close. They don't open and close like the MPP. Is the stock MPP like functionally close to, well, is a Corsa MPP functionally close to how the stock was? Does it open and close and make it quiet?
Yeah, it's actually, compared to people who have the stock muffler box with headers and everything, you can't even hear it. It don't even sound that loud when you have the valves closed, which I do love. Like I said, we live in California, so cops, be harassing us about exhaust and stuff, but I love it and it works really good.
Let's close the hood real quick and hear it real quick. How much is the headers? Let's do a price breakdown before we even hear it and move on to my car. Headers and the whole setup. About how much?
Well, the whole setup, brand new, I believe was about $1,000 for the headers with the X pipe and everything, and about $3,000 for the mufflers, the Corsa exhaust. So, what in total, probably like almost like $4,000 just for the setup, which is pretty pricey, but you get amazing sound compared to stock. So, depends if you like it or not, but I think it's worth it. Obviously, money, but you know, it's worth it at the end of the day for me.
Heck yeah, and they sound super, super good. Y'all gonna hear it in a second. This mug sounds good. Like the difference between the Z with my setup, which I haven't really told y'all the full setup yet, but the sound is extremely different. And this garage is gonna amplify it a lot more. Just how deep it sounds. And the idle. Rev it just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Makes it a lot deeper. A lot deeper. Now y'all got to hear my boy's setup with the headers. The headers is super nasty. What do you think about J-Land with the headers? Like, you don't hear any things. What people are saying is kind of like, it's a myth. They gotta like ride with the headers or get used to it, shall I say.
Yeah, sometimes you do kind of get used to it. When I first started, I did have to get used to it because it's really loud, but I had the valve, so if I don't want it to be too loud, I just close the valves, and it does shake a little bit, but I enjoy it. It gives it more aggressiveness to the car.
Okay, so the MPP valves, they play a good part in like shutting it down.
Yeah,
making
definitely.
it quiet when you're
it makes it a lot more quiet then.
Heck yeah. So if y'all want to get headers, go ahead and get the MPPs. I have the Extreme Pluses. I wouldn't recommend the Extreme Pluses with headers unless you want to be super obnoxious all the time. But let's move over to what I got going on the Z. I already let y'all know about the Corsa Extremes. Let me slide to the back so y'all can see the Corsa Extremes. Y'all can see the tips. I do have the black tips. My boy has the chrome tips. That's another difference with our Corsas. As y'all can see, the black tips look a little bit different. This is what the chrome tips look like. And they're super, super chrome. They almost look like the stock tips, which does give a cool effect to the cops. Like they almost might think this is the stock exhaust if they don't know. So that's one thing, and that's one difference that plays a factor. Like with cops, only with cops, the look is a preference thing if you want to go chrome or black. I am catless with it. I have the secondary cats out too. You have the secondary cats out too, Adon, huh?
Yeah, the only restriction I have is the Corsa mufflers, and that's it.
Okay, and he forgot to mention that. I was just remembering, I was like, my boy has the secondary cats out too. I remember him going and getting them taken out. Before we got the cats out, we went and got the secondary cats out. All of that together on the Z sounds good. It has a nice deep rumble to it. I could talk about it, but let me go ahead and start it up. Man, my boy Don hold the camera. We're gonna get it started up, and I'm gonna give a few revs real quick. And I'll tell y'all, it's super loud. It's super, super loud. Now that it's off, y'all hear exactly what I'm talking about. The pops when I rev it, it's nasty. It's insane. Secondary cats are removed, catless, with Corsa Extreme Plus exhaust. Now y'all can kind of see the mufflers a little bit, just a little bit if I can kind of get down here. These mufflers don't have anything. They're not muffling nothing. They're just for show. It's a muffler like this on each side. We should let them both idle together so they can hear what they sound like. Now we got them both started up. And like I said, they sound super good with each other. Now that's probably one of the best parts. Just starting them up.
Oh yeah.
And just hearing the rumble and just hearing the exhaust. Because they weren't like that when they were stock. You remember how they were stock. I mean, mine wasn't stock too long. You had the headers for a little minute, like probably about a month or so. How long you had them?
The headers?
Yeah, like the whole setup.
The whole setup, I would say probably like 2 months.
Okay, good 2 months. And you get used to it quick. You think you've gotten used to it pretty quick?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I definitely got used to it very fast.
Yeah, I probably had it for about, I went catless again maybe like 3 weeks ago, and now I'm just now really starting to really get used to it and used to the way it drives, the characteristics of it, because it's a little bit different having all the air, just it flowing a lot more. And both of them running together just gives like a crazy effect, especially in the garage, because of how much it amplifies them. You can really hear the deepness in the tone and the aggressiveness. The motor, both of these cars really breathe a lot more with the exhaust systems that they have, and you can hear it. Now, that's the main reason I wanted to go ahead and do a part 2, is because I wanted to get real in depth on the exhaust systems. I wanted to tell you guys a lot of details, how it drives, how it feels. Wanted to make sure we can really take our time. Now, also without doing it, we kind of compared the Corsa Extreme Plus to the Corsa Extreme MPP variables, and there are some significant differences that you can open and close it with the MPP variables. It's always loud with the Extreme Pluses. The MPP variables are loud, but they're a little bit more docile. The Extreme Pluses are like for the track only. They're not even meant for the street like that, but you can get them and, you know, throw them on a car and use them for the street. And on that note, we had to do a part 2 on the exhaust systems, really telling y'all and showing y'all what we have done to the Camaros exhaust wise. Stay blessed, stay positive. Me and my boy Adon is out. Peace. Love y'all.